This is an audio based on fundamental expressions. Fundamental expressions take you to the limit of the mind. Here you will see from Empowerment, the book, Human being is a complete mechanism. Either you can understand this fact with screw-tight alertness, or the real understanding happens when one's lofty ideas, comforting escapes, including religious, spiritual, are pitched against the naked, irritating, unrelinquishing situation. Unless we feel total groundlessness when we cannot run away from any irritating, discomforting feeling, the original does not touch. Just see, apart from immediate physical danger, all discomforts are psychological discomforts. And psychological discomfort is the unstoppable process, the sign of being alive. Second is, brain cannot work without contrast. Every time contrast is being created between what you want and what happens or what you think should happen. You have to be comfortable with this contrast, this gap, this discomfort, if you call it so. This contrasting process is life, it never stops. The comfortableness with contrast puts you on the fluid ground, the ground of all possibilities. Brain cannot see, visualize, think, experience anything which is not a contrast, including any feeling. Brain cannot work without contrast. Desire, uncertainty, any problem, any disliked situation provide contrast to manifestation, to what you want. This is the endless process. Next is format of life. Whatever comes before you, including stars, galaxies, and so on, cannot be the source. It is an object. It can have some use, function. To come to the source, the subject, you, is also to be included. To see that a subject object is a singular process rests all seeking. You may name the total field as God, but the total field is not an object or something you can refer. You cannot separate yourself from the total field and discuss about the total field. You and the word is a singular process, is the total field. Senses see, touch, listen, and so on. Breathing in and out is going on. There is memory and imaginations and thoughts arising in the mind. This is the format of life, is the total field. Mind posits as if there is something other than this process, something apart from this process, simply to seek relief from what it does not like in this process. Once it sees that the uneasiness of facing the disliked cannot be thrown out of the mind, totality is realized. Next is unending friction. The friction between this moment and the next gives momentum to life. The friction is unending. When you are relaxed in this moment, whatever be the situation, image for the next moment comfortable to you is automatically created. This is the natural momentum on which brain works. When you are not at rest with this moment, you are trying to fix the next moment to your pattern. You miss the automation. You become busy in fighting an illusory battle. Next is limit of thinking. Who is impelling your senses to operate, to see, to listen, and so on? impelling movements in your body, impelling you to think. What is the power attracting you to something and distracting you from something? It is not to find some explanation for the impelling power or some reference for the impelling power. I am doing or God is doing is also an explanation. But to just note the impelling itself, there is no one impelling, there is nothing behind impelling, there is only impelling. All doing thinking is a neurological, physiological process. The assertions I am thinking, I am doing are simply the words to communicate. I can refer to anything, can describe anything. I as subject and something or other as object. This is the process of thinking. Now, I comes under the illusion as if it is the source of thinking, source of movements. Can you see that I itself arises as a thought? Pick a pen. A whole set of physiological and neurological movements are involved. Now, the thinking, I have picked the pen, is expression through words. Thinking arises to explain. This is the limit of thinking. The actual movements, physiological and neurological, happen. Put your hand in cold water. There is a feeling in the body and brain. Now, thought can express this feeling. It is not this feeling. When you can see that thought is only an expression of what is being experienced, you begin to see that thought is not the controller of impulses and movements in your body and brain. This suddenly transforms your whole experiencing structure. Now there is no escape from what is being experienced. Thought is not able to coin any relief, consolation as an escape from what is being experienced. You enter into a new dimension.